Okay. All right. We'll let Jamie get caught up here. She can get her things printed.
You can start.
Okay. All right. I'll just do a little bit of admin stuff here so you can get settled. All right. Test is this Friday. So if you haven't, caught that idea from my iPad screen here, test is Friday. It's the end of midterm that day. Today we're doing questions 1 through 5. Tomorrow we're going to do the other half, 6 through 10. So it's kind of half and half. You're going to want to take notes somehow. Maybe you have a physical copy that you printed off because the Google Classroom sent out the practice guide just a few minutes ago. You could just write down the problems we're going to do right now on a piece of paper, and then on Friday you'll take a picture of your notes and send that. I don't know how you want to do it. Just make sure it's very organized, very clean, because remember, it's just like a normal practice test. We turn these in. There's certain problems I'm going to have you try out by yourself. There's certain problems I'll do. So there's a little bit of give and take here. So you will submit these to me, so just keep that in mind, these practice guides we're doing. You'll get easy points for it. I'll kind of, as we go through this, I'll kind of explain how I want you to approach the problem for like test day, especially if you're at home or whatnot. How do you want to do it? How I want to see it on paper, that type of thing. Because I know it's not convenient, but we just kind of get through it and just kind of adjust to it. For those who are in class, you'll get a physical copy as normal. And then for those who are at home, you guys will just work on the Zoom. It'll actually look like this. So let me just flip through. This is what it's going to look like on Zoom day. So for testing, this is what it will look like. I'll have the problem on my iPad. I'll just be clicking through them every 3-4 minutes, something like that. I'll click to the next one automatically, unless everyone gives me a thumbs up in the chat that says, hey, we're ready to go. No, it actually did come in. All right.
Ward, where is this?
Where is what?
I don't see it in Classroom.
I couldn't find it either.
Yeah, I can't find it either.
Ward, I got a question.
What's up?
So can we print off our test on Friday, or do we have to scroll through your Zoom?
No, you can print it off.
Okay, so
Ward, will you send it to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't find this.
I'm going in there right now to send it. It should have sent 11:59 today.
Ward.
Oh wait, that was I'm in geometry. Hold on.
Hey, Ward.
It was scheduled for 1:16. Is it 1:16? That's well past 1:16.
Okay.
Let me just.
Oh, it's in there.
All right. I just clicked.
Ward.
I just clicked a sign.
Hey, Ward.
What's up?
So are there going to be 10 questions then, like the study guide, or are there going to be less on the test?
No, it'll be just the same exact number. So.
The same exact number?
Same exact number. So I thought there was gonna be 9, but I think it ended up being 10. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 10.
Ward.
What's up?
For me then, can you send it to me, like, can I join early Friday and then so that I can print it out?
Yeah. So I'll just make a different version for you, and
Yeah,
so then I'll
that's
just have you by yourself, and I'll submit it to you.
Okay.
So.
Because I didn't want to be looking at whatever other class it is.
Yeah. No, understandable.
Ward, are we doing this one?
Yeah, we're doing this one here in a
It's
second.
not on the study guide.
What do you mean? Is it not showing up? Middle of Zoom. How are you doing, Mr. Guy? Okay. Oh, that's fine. I'll be done here in like 10 minutes. Oh, okay. Good seeing you. So they didn't show up?
No. Like, it's not on this.
Yeah, that should have been there. See, this is why I add pictures. This is why I should have done pictures. This time I didn't. I knew I should have done it.
Or did you just growl?
I guess I growled. Super inconvenient.
Wait, none of the questions have like equation or anything.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go in there right now. I know this is gonna be super inconvenient, but I'm going to add all the pictures as well. I know that's super inconvenient. I'm sorry. They're there. It's just the problem is Chromebooks can't open it, and this is the problem. I always get 100 emails a day from parents at home. My son can't see the picture. Oh, great. Alright, well, let's choose to upload those. I think these should be all 5 pictures. Yes, it is. Okay, save it. Alright, if you hit refresh, all the pictures should be there, so you can see them. What a pain. Okay, anyway, we'll deal with it. We'll get better. Okay, alright. Work in progress. This is the problem that should be showing up. What you're looking at here, hopefully the internet's going to stay together here for just a few minutes. We're going to go through each of these problems separately. There's a couple different ways we approach this problem. This is from the first section of our 3rd unit. It was based on limits. There's a couple different ways to approach this one. You could simplify it. What I mean by simplify, you could actually evaluate it like this. You can actually evaluate the problem like such, and like actually distribute, FOIL, whatever you want to call it, simplify it all the way down, blah, 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 all the way down until you get to a point where, let me type that into Wolfram Alpha and see what it spits out. Let's see what Wolfram Alpha will spit on this one. It will spit out, let's see, x plus h to the power of 3. Done. Alright, so here's what it should spit out if you actually foiled it, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to waste your time doing it. On paper, here's what you should get. We should get x cubed plus 3h squared x plus 3x squared h plus h cubed. And then that's foiling those 3 big parentheses together. Then we have the plus 27 after it, minus the x cubed, minus the 27, all divided by h. This is the limit as h approaches 0, right? You just keep carrying that down. So that's if you foiled, first iron last, right? So on the top, things start to cancel, right? You can see it. Like x cubes cancel, 27s cancel. You can just kind of see that that was going to happen. And what I'm left with here is I'm left with 3h squared x plus 3x squared h plus h cubed, all divided by h. And this is the limit as h approaches 0. Now I still can't plug in 0, right? Do you agree that I can't plug a 0 for h yet? Because you can't divide by 0, right? So we have to keep going and keep simplifying. So what I would do is I divide everything by h next, right? So because that's a law of division. I can keep going and I can divide everything by h. So I have 3hx plus 3x squared h plus h cubed. And if I divide everything by h, I already did and I didn't even write it. Oops, hold on. This h is gone, right? And then this one turns into a 2 in the back. Because I took away one h from everything, if that makes sense to you. Dividing everything by h. And then the last step is plug in 0 for h, because now it won't cause any problems, right? We divided all the h's off, there is no fraction anymore. If I plug in 0, what am I left with if I plug in zeros for all my h's?
3x squared.
3x squared, and that's your answer. That's the limit, that's what we evaluated the limit to be at the very, very end of this problem.
Or say it's h to the whatever, instead of 0, with your h, the arrow to a 0, what if it was like a 2?
Okay, so let's say, okay, great question. So let's say it's a 2. Well, in the beginning, what I would do first, not joking, instead of doing all this simplifying stuff like I'm doing, I would check, could I just plug in, could I just plug in a 2? If that doesn't cause any issues, just plug it in and then just write down what your answer is. I only have to do this stuff, like all of this mess, if it causes an issue. So like in this case, if I were to plug in my 0, do you agree that I would have a 0 on the bottom of my fraction? That's an issue. We can't have that. So we have to get rid of it. So that's why I chose to like FOIL that mess out, and then in the very end divide everything by h's. So that way it got rid of the fraction, and now I can actually evaluate by plugging my number in. But if you can just plug in, let's say, a 2, like Brady was saying, just like plug it in, just do that first. Maybe it doesn't cause any issues, and you just write down what your answer is with 2's plugged in for all the h's, and then that's your answer. You just stop there.
If we don't plug in this, and it still would work?
Yeah, it still would work. Yep. Yep, it'd be the same answer. Yeah, and let's say you get down to the point where I'm at now. You know, you simplified it all the way down. Like, you knew you couldn't plug it in the beginning because it caused an issue, and you simplified it, and you're like, man, at the very end, I still can't plug it in. I still have weird fractions.
Please call the office. Chris Hansen.
So you look and you're like, I still can't plug things in. So the idea is that what we'd have to do then is you'd have to plug numbers very, very close to 0. Like, I'm approaching 0. So plug in like 0.0001. or 0.000001 and see what it's eventually turning into. Maybe that's what you have to do in your problem. If I was a betting person, I'd expect a problem like this. You'll be able to simplify it. You'll be able to get down to something in the end that looks nice and clean, like this. It could have numbers, could have variables. It's going to be something simple. All right, questions? All right, I'm going to take a screenshot of that. Take a screenshot of the beginning one. Okay, let's go to number 2. If you guys want me to go back to number 1, I will. I'm sorry. I just kind of want to get through these, and then we can go back and answer any questions you guys might have. But fire them out if you guys know you have questions. So, all right.
Our number 1 wasn't the same as yours.
No, your number 1 was the same as mine.
What? If there's just a picture of a graph.
If you open it on Google Classroom, 1 is number 4 on yours, Ward.
What? This one's number 4?
The graph for number 1, instead of the limit, there's a graph, and the graph is actually number 4.
Like that?
Yeah.
Oh.
That one's our number 1 on like the practice guide that you put on.
This is the last call for training with Dan of Access Systems.
That's what I was saying earlier, and you like didn't understand.
I'm still confused. What do you mean that's...
On your screen right now, it's number 4 for you. Thing that you put on Google Classroom, it's number 1.
When you open it up for Word on your Chromebook, it shows number 4's graph for number 1. But if you open it up and Doc Hub on your Chromebook, it'll change it back to the problem.
Holy gosh.
Mine is correct. This says number 4 on mine and number 4 on Mr. Ward. So I don't know what's different. But.
Oh my god.
Can I like share my screen right now, or is that not a thing?
Yeah, Jared did it, unless Ward shut it off.
Ward, look at my
post disabled.
I gotta stop the share. Alright. Let's see it. Hold that back up again.
Like, it's just sitting there. I just ignored it and then I wrote it in. But like, it's on number 4 too.
Yeah.
Oh, weird. Okay, so I wonder if it just got... Okay, well that's an easy fix. That's probably just an error with... That's probably just an error with Google where it tried to open and it just it accidentally copied that graph up. That isn't my issue. I can share you what mine looks like. That's probably just Google opening it up wrong and throwing extra pictures everywhere. So I'll have to make sure that when we do the test, you really have to look at my iPad screen to know like what question you should be doing. So that I can't help. Like I can't help what Google's opening for you guys. I can just make sure that when you see my iPad like this right now, let me share this back with you, that it looks normal. Where is Zoom? Come back. So, all right.
Ward, sorry I was late. What are we doing this on normal lined paper?
Yeah, just do it on normal lined paper, unless you have a luxury of having a printer at home. You can print it off, and you'll turn this in on Friday. Yep, you'll just email it to me or submit it on Google Classroom. Yep. Okay, let's go to this next one here. So number 2, or whatever number this is on your practice guide, I guess. If
Is that supposed to be T24, like T equals 4?
Yes. Oh yeah, that's an equal sign. Oh my God, why is that not showing up right? Yes, that is an equal sign. My goodness, what a train wreck of tech. That is an equal sign. Okay, so here's the idea on this particular problem. You are finding the average rate of change. If you don't know what the average rate of change is, it's this. Oh, I shouldn't have had the y up front. That should be a m equals y minus y over x minus x. Now you're thinking, Ward, I don't have any y's here. It doesn't even show y, it shows stupid t's. These are your x's, and then this is your y. Now how do I know that? By looking at it. Is because this is how you name functions. This is a function of this letter. Right? It's whatever the letter is. So functions mean y's. So this is the y column, this is the x column, this is the variable that you're using, if that makes any sense. So they can have it in anything that you want. So if you don't like the way that I wrote my problem down, that's fine. I can put the x of t's on the top. X of t goes here, minus x of t goes here, all over t minus t, same thing. It's y minus y over x minus x. So what we need to do is find the average slope between these two numbers. Okay, so those are my x numbers. So what order do you want to put those on the bottom? Because those are my x's. You want to go 0 and 4 or 4 and 0?
0 and 4.
0 and 4, okay, 0 minus 4, okay. And now on the top, we have to go just read off the answers for 0 and 4, and we have to put them in that same order. So the answer for 0 earlier was -2, so that goes on the top here. And then the answer for 4 was this number, it was -6, and that number goes there. Because that's the functional value at those numbers, in the same order. 0 first, 4 second, right? And so if we do the math here, this turns out to be -2 plus 6 all over 0 minus 4. And so this turns out to be, what, 4 over -4. Let me write my negative sign. And this turns out to be a -1 over 1, which is just -1. And that's the slope. That's the average rate of change. Does that make sense what you're doing on number 2?
CCR.
Okay.
Wait, Ward.
What's up?
So on that little chart that you got,
Yeah.
could the x of t and t be flipped around on the test?
The x of t and t be flipped around? Like, could I have it written like this? Like t of x kind of a thing? Like that? Or are you talking about like the actual like top and bottom flip?
Yeah, the top. Like,
Yes.
So that t column
Yeah.
be on the bottom and
Yes.
then x of t be on the
Yeah,
top.
so you really have to identify whatever table I provide you. Yeah, you have to identify where is the y's, where are the x's. Yes. Because in the book, and if you remember back to this first section, they had a couple of the charts that were like this, where there was a vertical, not horizontal. And we did a couple of those.
Why don't they just make it x and then t of x or something instead of the t of x not actually being x? That's just more.
Yeah, it's a name of a variable. I agree. I'll try to pick one that's a little more clear for the test. So I just picked one out of the book. This is just it's a picture from the first section of chapter 2 in the book. All right, let's go to number 3. I'll go back to that one if you guys need it, but we got to get through number 5, I think, here before we're done here. I think I got like 10 more minutes. Cripes, this time goes fast. Yeah, I literally have 10 minutes. Okay. So we have to get through 2 problems here. 3 problems. Okay, so what they're doing on this one, they want you to organize these numbers from least to greatest. Smallest to largest. These numbers. Now, you don't have to find what these numbers are. You just have to tell me which one's the smaller number. So, we have the number 0. Obviously, this is 0. Duh. This is the number 1. Duh. What is the slope of line A to B? Well, if I was just kind of guessing at that, is it positive or negative? Hey. That's positive slope. I want to say hi to everyone here. We got the whole entire calc class.
How many you got?
All 13 of them.
Nice.
12 in this case. No, 16. So.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, how's it going?
Living the dream, man. How about you guys?
Just wish I could be there with you.
You know what? I wish you're all here were with us, you know.
I'm glad I'm at home. I'm glad.
Oh, huh?
Yeah.
I'm not, I hate it.
Brody. All right. What are we working on? Slope?
Yeah, we're doing a practice guide. We have a test Friday, so.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so we're looking at the slope of line A to B, right? So the slope is positive. It's going up to the right. You can kind of see it. It's not a very big number. The more steep it is, the bigger the number, right? This is kind of flattening out. It's getting closer to 0. Now, the slope at C. What is the slope at C roughly?
A little bigger than 0.
Yeah, just a little bigger than 0. It's not quite 0. It's just a little bit bigger than 0. So the slope right here, I don't know why I just did that. The slope right there, this is really close to 0. It's just a little bit above it. So if I was putting this in least to greatest, here's what I have right now. This is kind of the order I'm thinking. So far, this is what I'm putting in order, if that makes any sense to you. Right? 0 is probably the smallest number so far. The slope at C is probably the next smallest number because it's just above 0. It's really close to 0. It's just above 0. Then probably, yeah, the slope at B is probably the next one because that one's just getting a little bit bigger than the slope at C. It's just a little bit more steep. The more steep, the bigger the number. Then probably the slope of AB.
Keyword, guess what?
What?
It's my mom's birthday today.
Oh, tell her happy birthday. And then...
Birthday yourself. Look, she's right here.
Hi, happy birthday.
All
Alright.
Okay, go on.
Alright, we're continuing. Alright, so we have a slope at what? Probably, I would say slope at AB would probably be next, and then slope at probably A. And, oh, actually, yeah, AB, and then probably 1. Probably it's 1 is probably the next number. And then it will be the slope of A. Now, how do I know that? AB is here, here's AB, that line, and then 1 is a little more steep. Because the dashed line was the number for 1. And then, how I know that it's right here. This is a 1. And then the slope of A was really steep, so that was a really big number. So this is probably least to greatest.
Can I just put the little dash deal before like C so I don't have to write slope at?
Yeah, that's fine. You can do that. All right, does that make sense how we kind of looked at the slopes and kind of figure out which one's the biggest, which one's the smallest? Kind of put them in order? All right, I'm going to the next one. All right, so this is one, and if you don't remember, we actually did this problem in class one day. You probably look back at your notes and find it. We're finding the equation of a line. We're finding the coordinates for A, B, and C. So they're telling me the equation, the slope-intercept form this is slope-intercept form. They're kind of telling me the numbers for it, how I know this. In fact, I got point slope form. Maybe that's a better way to put it. Point slope form is this one. So we have my slope. If you don't know where the slope is, the slope at 4 is 1.5. The slope is 1.5, right? And when I plug in 4 and 25, that can go, this is my x and this is my y, right? 4 and 25, right? I could figure out any number up here, right? So that's the idea. The 4s would go into this problem. Now, I'm going to show you kind of what I'm talking about here. Let me get rid of this. I don't like the way that I wrote that. So, I'm going to plug in my slope of 1.5. All right, my coordinate was 4 and 25. I actually want to plug those numbers in. Okay, sorry. I want to plug those numbers in so you can see them where they need to go. They need to go in those spots on the y and the x side. Okay. Again, x is the number that goes into the function. Y is the other number. That's the 25. And so that's my coordinate, right? And then what I need to find is the other numbers. I need to find the coordinate for A. I need to find the coordinate for B and C. Well, we already have the coordinate for A.
Can you? I don't get this like annotation or whatever you want to call it. F of 4 equals 25.
Yeah, so this is your function. When you plugged in 4 in for x, this is the y number that it just spit out. And then this is the slope, right? That's the instantaneous rate of change. When I plugged in 4, the y number spit out a 1.5. So this is the slope at 4. Because that's what that little parenthesis
saying
means.
Where at? Okay.
Yeah. So
is A 4, 25?
Yes. So that was what I was trying to get at, right? The 425 is the actual coordinate that they provided you in the instructions. That's in the like the bold heading. 4 and the 25 is the y number. And then what we need to find is the b and c number. We need to find these. And how we do that is because of this. This allows me to find it. This will probably be our last question of the day. We'll just pick up with number 5 tomorrow. Or according to your guys' practice, guys, this was number 1. God. All right, and so now how we find C and B is you have to plug those X's in. So if I want to do, let's say we want to do B first, right? I would plug in the X of 4.2 here. That's this number. This is my B number. This is where B is at up here. That would be my X number. I'd plug in 4.2, and all I have to do is solve for this. Solve it like an Algebra 1 problem. And that'll give me the Y number where 4.2 was. Okay, does that make sense what you're doing? Then when I want to find the other coordinate, what is that? 3.9. I'll plug 3.9 in for X, and then I'll solve for Y again, and that'll tell me the other one. Okay, we'll stop there today. I know we didn't get a lot done. We got kind of caught up with trying to get the tech worked out. And it's fine because tomorrow the last problems are graphing anyways, and it seemed like you guys had a pretty good handle on graphing. So, okay, tomorrow we'll pick up with number 5 and we'll continue on, so just remind me of that tomorrow. But again, you should be filling this out on a piece of paper, or if you're lucky enough you have a printer at home, you can print this out. And you'll submit these to me. I can't explain why Google chose to reorganize my questions. I don't understand that. Doesn't like Microsoft Word, clearly. I might have to like put those in a Google Doc and then share the Google Doc so it doesn't have any weird errors like that.
If you open it up, it'll often just go right to how you had it on your screen.
Okay, I'm going to take a screenshot. I'm going to let you guys go here. I got my next class coming in. Sorry. I wish it would have been more time, but 30 minutes isn't a lot, and we spent about 15 trying to work out tech. So, all right. I'm going to have to stop the camera and stop everything here. All right. See you later, guys. I'm going to stop the share here.
All right, see you, Ward.
Later, guys.